There you go.
All right. We are live at today the 23rd. No, is it the what day is it?
Today is the 23rd.
Yes, the 23rd of November 2024. You are here with Mystic Sisters Live. Hello, Ona.
Hi. How are you doing? How was your week? This was a busy week, right? Pluto, that's a whole story.
Oh,
The sun.
yes. Yeah, it was big shifts, big shifts. And those shifts are I think feel like this is like the start of the shifts, or I can't really say that because it's been shifting all year, hasn't it? But it's like the wave, like there's a giant wave and we're just riding it. That's
Yeah,
really how it feels right now.
yeah.
So we have Paula in the house, Diana and Teresa, seeker of the lights, of light and
Seeker of
peace.
the Light and Peace.
Thank you.
And Tim's granddaughter, Missy
Anna,
Cooper. Awesome.
I gotta get new glasses because I'm gonna call somebody something terrible and not me.
Have you been having trouble with your eyes?
Yes, yes.
I was thinking about that with Gemini, Jupiter's Gemini involvement there, with it being retrograde, because I've had a lot of that sort of, and I know where I work. I know. Okay. So some of it I have to force myself to ignore. And the building I work in is old. So seeing is like full, like a shadow.
Yes, 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 yes,
Right? A form,
yes.
a real form. And then looking back, definitely had a visit from Cannoli today.
Oh, oh, that's great. And
It
you know,
was.
it's interesting you should say that because I felt the dogs, they've been gone for 4 years now, I think. I've really felt them over the last like couple of days. I think we're all going through some really intense shifts, and
And
those people and animals and the souls that travel with us that are no longer on this side of the veil are sort of surrounding us. That's
yeah,
what it feels like. We
yeah.
need the support. We need the support of all our relations, because as we said last week, was that last week when we talked about timelines?
Yes.
Um, things are converging. Things are converging.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I definitely felt Pluto move into Aquarius because
Yeah.
the day before, when it was right at the last, when it had its last full day in Capricorn, I felt it was Monday, and I had my class, I had my fundamentals of evolutionary astrology class, and
Mm-hmm.
it was such an intense, and everybody's like on edge anyway in class, just in general because of, what's going on. And it ended up being like we just looked at charts of, the, the people involved in all of this. But it was really heavy. I don't think I had gotten quite that low since maybe the second day after the election. Like it was low like that. But
Yeah.
then once it passed, it felt much lighter. And it was interesting because the day that Pluto did move into Aquarius, either that day or the next day, it might have been the day, the International Court put out warrants for Netanyahu and I think one of his, I should know the name, but I don't, but people know who I'm talking about. And then the leader of Hamas, who they had already killed anyway, or supposedly killed anyway. So I thought that was kind of a boost, power to the people kind of thing,
Yeah. Yeah.
where these people who just
That
really,
is.
yeah.
Yeah. And that is a good thing to document for Pluto's ingress. That was the day I had over the weekend. I was looking for stuff. I have a couple projects in my mind. Pluto ingressing into Aquarius, how it's going to come out, what it's going to look like, how can I express that. Had pulled together my stones, rocks, the jewelry stuff that is real versus not real. And I had this pile of turquoise that is already pre-drilled and I need to do something with it. That day, my right ear hurt so bad. I wish I had wrote down the time. And I went to sit down. I grabbed them in my hand and I held them up to my ear like this. They're nice and cold. The cold stone felt good. I'm not kidding. And I finally, I put them down and I kind of recalibrated myself and I thought, my ear doesn't hurt anymore.
I want to read.
I got a necklace. I made a necklace out of it already. They're in my pocket. So definitely for whatever healing properties that it has been known for, and I looked up the whole list, definitely soften the Pluto exiting.
Well, I think it was like a little alarm clock for Turquoise. I mean for Pluto and Aquarius. I have my Crystal Ally book here. I'm going to read about turquoise, if that's okay. And I just want to give a shout out to my girl Mary, who is my oldest and dearest friend. We've known each other since we were, I think I was 12 and she was 11. We went to grammar school together. We went to Italy together. We went. We did so many cool things. Whenever you don't have that friend that whenever there's like a big shift in your life, like or your consciousness, they always seem to be around for that. Well, that's my friend Mary. So, and for those I haven't mentioned, hello everybody. We're happy to have you tonight on Mystic Sisters. We're gonna talk about. I'm gonna go over turquoise right now because Ona stuck it in her ear. But it's significant because turquoise is considered a storm element stone in this book anyway, and the storm elements are all transformational. And of course, it's not hard to see that we're in a transformational time because that's why it feels like we're going a million miles an hour and just praying we don't like smack into the side of something. Honestly.
There was a storm. There was a very windy. I did post a shorts on the first snowfall. The snow was like 45 miles an hour wind straight across. The building moved. It was like everything.
Well, they had that bomb in the Northwest, right? In the snow bomb or the something bomb.
It's related.
And it's been, it's been so dry here. Like for 3 months, we didn't really have any rain. And now like it's been the third day of rain, but real windy, real like New England, like cold, damp into your bones. But honestly, it felt good in a way because it was familiar. The dryness is not that familiar here. So it was kind of weird. But let me just read about turquoise. It says, this sky blue to green mineral combines water, wind, fire, and earth energies, therefore containing the power and the unity of the storm element. Turquoise has traditionally been a stone of vision because of its incredible sky blue color. The sky is the male aspect of the Earth Mother. Those beings that inhabit the sky, such as hawk and eagle, have incredible powers of vision, flying hundreds of feet in the air, not only to see the total picture of the landscape below them, but also discern the movements of the smallest mouse on the ground or the fish beneath the water. When turquoise appears, it calls you to seek the unity within. This may be the very aspect that you need to recognize in yourself before you can understand how to release it from your experience. Every situation and experience that arises in your life is meant to bring you closer to a sense of wholeness and unity with the universe. Each experience leads you to a new understanding of yourself and the talents, strengths, and weaknesses that you have been given to complete your lifetime here. Looking within your own heart, you will see that everything you are at odds with in your environment is merely a reflection of an inner part of yourself that you have not acknowledged and integrated. Turquoise is asking you to find that aspect of yourself with which you're having difficulty and accept and integrate it into your true self. I accept and integrate all aspects of myself.
It's an Aquarius stone.
It is an Aquarius stone, which might have been the simplest thing to say.
That's that, and as soon as I saw it, I thought, oh, that's perfect. That's why I was led to that box in the closet that was just blocking my vision. It was one of those, I went up to the rabbit hole and I'm like, why is this in my way? And I took it out and I'm like, let's divide this right now. Let's get this little project done. And I took all the turquoise aside, and that day it was just, it really cooled my ear down to a temperature. I don't know what it was, if it was jaw pain or whatever, but wow, it really helped.
It could have even been like almost like an attunement of some sort. It could have simply been the energy was too dissimilar to your energy, and by putting the turquoise there, it may have sort of eased that energy to come in a less painful way, as it were. And can we all like pray for less painful ways of getting illuminated? Like, let's say, hey, let's get illuminated and have fun. Not all tower moments have to be you at the bottom of the rubble. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like a test. It's a test your reaction kind of thing. Like, you've got to like whatever it is at this time that you think your body needs. You crave for, like, vegetables, anything that has vegetables in it or anything that has fruit in it. Like, do engage in that, because there is something that it needs to help you move faster or less painful.
So I'd like to pick a Mystic Sister Oracle card for our Mystic Sister night, our Mystic Sisters live night tonight. We haven't been saying Wicked at all, which is kind of interesting.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so I have Madame Solio. Madame Solio. I'll just put that up so people. And I don't know what it is, so I have to read it from the book. So now this is our energy for the week ahead, guys. Madame, it's Soleil. Solio. It's probably French and I'm saying it all wrong, but I'm not sure. Okay, let's see what it says. I don't think I've ever gotten this card before. All right, Madame. I wonder if she's that kind of Madame. I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, we're going to find out. We'll find out.
Generosity and magnanimity. Magnanimousness. I don't know if that's a word, but it's
what? It is about magnetism. I think it actually nails it, because that is something else that's been coming up in more geophysicist kind of stuff that I watch.
We just had like 5 or 6 M class mass coronal ejections last week.
Yes, and that card speaks of magnetism. So
yes,
that's something.
It says Madame Solio is the sun goddess and lives in the light, and there is nothing difficult or complicated about her. She emanates truth, clarity, and creative energy, and she inspires generosity. Drawing this card is very fortunate. Wow. Who would think we would draw a very fortunate card for this week coming up? But it is fortunate. Reminds you that the more love you give, the more love you'll receive in return. It is a call to open your heart and let in the light of the sun goddess. Allow it to radiate out of you toward others. Practice a warm-hearted approach to every situation you come across, you'll find your whole outlook will become more cheerful, optimistic, and idealistic. Boy, we could use that, couldn't we?
There must be something going. No, is Mercury going retrograde? Because I was just going to say
Yes,
something.
this week.
Sounds like something's moving forward. So, you know what? It might be a good week because also when you think about it, if Mercury's going retrograde and we're all hopeful that something is going to turn itself around in
Oh, there's a
the
lot of energy.
archetype of retrograde.
There is a lot of energy for that astrologically,
Hey.
numerologically. It is so, this December comes down to a choice. It comes down to a choice. Are we going to be in the light or are we going to be in the dark? And that doesn't necessarily mean that what we want to happen is going to happen. It's more likely to happen if we're in the light, but because we're putting, if you're focusing on that, you're putting your intentions. But I think we have to put the energy in where we as individuals can shine in our own right to sort of increase the our own mass coronal ejection, right, of light, and to see the future that we want to manifest while staying with our feet on the ground, because in my experience, you always get what you want, but it rarely is in the order, direction, or looks like how you had pictured it. And so and we tend to, like, extrapolate off of things, and we, like, when you're in a relationship and you really like somebody, you're like 6 months down the line, then you're looking at wedding dresses, you're always thinking about the future, and you manifest it through, but it rarely looks like the way that you think it's going to look, but it ends up, I think, if we can, like, let go in a way. I feel like we have to, there are certain things that we have control over and certain things that we don't.
Right.
And so we have to know the difference of what that is, and then put our attention in the results we want to see in our own lives, not necessarily something outside of ourselves. Does that make sense to you?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mercury, Mary said Mercury retrograde on 11/25. So today's the 23rd. Yes. So on Monday. So it'll be interesting to see how things play out because, like I said, I keep saying we weren't all wrong. Something else this is the time when everybody thought things were going to be turbulent, stuff was going to, more information was going to come out, we were going to learn. We still have, like, staunch Kamala is president kind of thing, and then Trump is just making this look even worse, right, by doing stupid stuff.
Like, we kind of we expected it, but we didn't expect it to be quite as stupid as it was.
I'm just tired of being laughed at.
Well, I'm not attached to any of it. Ona emailed me. No, what do you call that? Text? No. What do you call? IM'd me? I don't know. I don't know the lingo. Anyway, she sent me a message and she said, "How much sleep have you lost over Matt Gaetz as Attorney General?" And I said, "None." I said, "Why?" She said, "Because he withdrew." I'm like, yeah. It was like, why would I even want to put energy into that situation? If that's what it's going to be, if at the end that's what it was going to be, that's what it was going to be, and I would deal with it. But I had a feeling.
Yeah. I'm relieved because I appreciate that they recognize how ridiculous that looks.
Oh my God. So let me just, the Sagittarius goes retrograde at 23 degrees. And the Sabian symbol, they talk about, like, we're living in the upside down. This is the Sabian symbol for this degree. A group of immigrants as they fulfill the requirements of entrance into a new country. Right? And it says here, discovering essence. Any big change demands of us that we hold firm to the deepest parts of our integrity while adapting to new conditions, courageously discovering our place in life. So, and then of course, with Mercury retrograde, we're looking at things that from the past, we're looking over things like that whole Mercury retrograde energy is really about recounting, re-looking at, reevaluating. And then Mars goes retrograde the
Yeah.
first week of December, right on the north node of the United States.
See, honestly, stick
Right.
like hold your ground. I know we were talking about the stages of grief when
Yeah.
this was so shocking that you can, and then timelines came in the next episode. It's like you choose to be in this timeline or not. We're kind of here, but there are some people that refuse to be even in this timeline. And now we're at the point where I think we need a recovery program. Right? So I wrote down the 12 steps of recovery, which to me looks like a tarot spread. Right? They've like redid the whole 12 steps of recovery. And I think we've gotten to the honesty part: honesty, hope, faith, courage, integrity, willingness. I want to pull a card for every one of these 12 steps that they've sort of condensed into language that doesn't offend anybody or throws God in the mix, or, there's always been some battle with the language.
Right.
I think it would be a great tarot spread to develop, honestly, because I think we all need a path to recovery.
Yeah. What anybody want to mention how they're coping with this and how they're attempting to keep their balance? It's real important at this time for us to keep our balance, to stay focused on the things that we have power to change, instead of the things that we have no power to change. That's out of our hands, right? So there's that. There's it's sort of the serenity prayer on steroids right now.
Yeah. Okay. So this overtook me. This knocked me down. Right? This knocked me down. This knocked me like, okay. So once you get your bearings, you've got to like have some hope, or you wouldn't be breathing, and that, and keep it going. And I think that would be a nice little like tarot thing we can do to help people along this path to recovery. Because
do you want to do that? Do you want to do that now?
Oh, I don't know. Do you want to?
I don't know. Is anybody interested
What do you think?
in ways of recovering from this?
Yeah.
I am.
I have to say, so one of my things is, honestly, if I had like a little something to spend, I'm running to like stare at the tarot deck section at the bookstore, and I didn't have my glasses with me, so that's okay. I found a deck that has that sort of collage card art in it. I like that kind of art. I like that kind of Renaissance-y feeling. And it was a day that I was just walking and kind of ducking in to see what's going on in the neighborhood. I looked at the deck in my phone and I thought, oh, these cards are kind of cool. I bought the cards. I brought them home. Goddess of Love. I know I was Goddess of Love Tarot. I knew that, right? And it says a book and deck for embodying the erotic divine feminine. I said, that's okay.
Ooh.
I don't have to bring it home back. I can still have this in my library of tarot. And you know what? They're not dirty. They're not dirty. It's a neat deck. The cards are a little thin that one good riffle shuffle and they will bend. So, and I'm not a good riffle shuffler anyway, but it's that kind of deal. That would be neat to do kind of, but they use, they use the court as like crone witch, that
Yeah.
kind of thing at the end. But it's all sort of the same kind of imagery.
So, how do you want to do this? Do you want to each one of us pick, like, you do the first step, I'll do the second step? You want to do that? And you'll tell us the steps, right?
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think this will be fun because we've never done this, ladies and germs. Gentlemen, sorry. Look, I'm Henny Youngman. No, so this is an experiment. We're doing an experiment.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll let you say it, and
Okay.
you can pick the first one.
The first card is honesty. So when people say, like, you got to get honest with yourself, if that language doesn't make sense, it's when that little voice inside you says, this isn't right. This isn't right. That is getting honest with yourself. So the first card for honesty from the goddess of love, tarot, because that's the deck I'm going to use now.
I think we should both pick a card just to see, just in case we pick the same card. That would be cool, right?
Is the world.
Ooh.
The world. So it's the snake, it's the kundalini that is wrapped around the cardiac. Wow. It is the it's the strawberry in the shape of a heart, anatomical heart. And the serpent is wrapped around it. And it is the world card. And for me, what did you get?
The Seven of Cups, debauchery. So this is about illusion and delusion. So we have to get honest about the end of something, right? The world card,
Yep.
and then illusions and delusions. So that could be for both sides, right? What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah. The second one is hope. So if you're still here and you believe that you've signed up for this, you have some kind of hope, right? So what is the hope that we can look forward to for the week? What can we hope for? What did you get?
I got the Knight of Discs.
Okay.
So to me, this speaks of the seeds already planted, that even if we are not where we want to be, it doesn't mean we're not going to get there because the seeds are planted. And so we need to protect those seeds. So what did you get?
I got the Nine of Wands, but in this deck, it is kind of like the Fae are protecting everything you've planted from the ground, from where you can't see them.
Yeah.
And typically the Nine of Wands is a, sort of an anxious moment.
Right. It's a time of vigilance.
Mm-hmm.
It's a vigilance card. Yeah.
The sirens look like they're having fun, like a bachelorette party.
Well, I think I think that's part of the thing we must do. We must have fun. We must enjoy ourselves. We're not going to wring our hands, and because we're not there, we might at some point get there, and then wringing the hands may be appropriate, but right now wringing the hands is not. Now you just have to set yourself up and move from. All right.
The next one is faith. So if you have hope, then somebody's giving you hope. There is something outside of you that you have faith in that allowed you to hold on to this hope or give you hope.
Okay.
All right. I got the Two of Swords.
And I got the World.
Interesting.
How do you see that?
In this deck, the Two of Swords clearly has more Gemini meaning.
Hmm.
And that's what we're experiencing with Jupiter, in Gemini. So if I were to say having faith, people are waffling on that.
Well, yes. Yeah. Moment of faith, moment of doubt, moment of faith, moment of doubt, which
Mhm.
is the Gemini energy. Gemini is duality. It's about
No, it's
seeing
got to
both
be.
ends of it, right? And
Yeah.
this part says to me, the faith in that something is coming to an end and a new beginning is at hand. That's the faith.
There is a lot of emphasis on this world card.
Yeah. Well,
A
it's a
lot.
Saturn card. It's a Saturn card, and on the tree of life, it's connected to something coming in, something giving birth to something.
Yeah. And you know what? A lot of this can feel very much like Pluto, who represents itself to me in cilantro. So it's just been happening a lot all week. I think it's like nitrogen that is required. But that's interesting that is the world card has always been something's got to drop off. And I
Yeah.
mentioned cannoli, and that was the time when I pulled the world card on two different decks. And, it was clear that she was at the end of her cycle there on Earth, and the world card keeps coming up. So thank you, cannoli, again. I hope she got some of that pizza.
Let me just say this for those of you who may not know who cannoli is. Cannoli was your Frenchie that you rescued, right? It was she was a mama puppy mill dog.
Yeah, she was a puppy mill dog. I had her for almost 6 years. She was a rescue. She had heartworm. She had so many puppies that like nobody wanted her kind of thing. So she was technically a senior, but I had her for so long. I don't think she was that old. I think she was that battered.
Right, right.
And she was like just the best dog. The best. I have a shrine. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
what's the next step?
The next one is courage. So, courage is something that we have within us, but we ask from, outside ourselves. And I hope everybody sees Wicked, by the way, because I see that happening too. And for courage, I have Four of Wands.
Oh, victory. Believe in the victory, maybe.
Yeah, for Four of Wands.
I got the devil to face the fear, to face the darkness. Have courage to walk into the darkness, to find the light within.
Is that the top deck?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yes,
God.
that is a pillar and stones, as they say in.
It looks like if I took my glasses off and I moved
You
it
don't have to,
forward.
because that's what it is. You don't have to take your glasses. It's great, though, isn't it?
And I
It's one
got
of my
like the girl
favorites.
deck here going on. Oh my gosh. So defending courage is, wands is a fire sign. Courage is a fire. It's a number 8, and that is all fire in my head. So I think that you have to light a fire.
Your passion. Light
Yeah.
the fire of your passion. If political action is your passion, do it. If art is your passion, do it. Do what fills your heart, because that's really where all our power is anyway.
Yeah.
You know.
There's a lot of Leo stuff going on, and that would be opposite Aquarius, where
Right.
Pluto just went in. But there's a lot of fiery underlying current there, right?
Yes. Well, Mars is in Leo. Mars is in Leo. Yeah, and going slow because it's going to go retrograde. So it's going through those first degrees of Leo relatively slowly. All right, what's our next? What's our
The
next?
next one is integrity.
Ooh.
So I guess the question would be, what do I need to maintain integrity? next week. Just being integritous. Right?
Here come the sun, didn't do.
Oh my
Here
God.
come the sun.
Stop talking.
What?
The
What'd you
sun.
get? The sun.
I was just going to say,
I got victory.
Beatles, fire on fire on fire. So the Leo, we're protected with this Leo opposition from Pluto's newly placed room in Aquarius. I like it. I like it. I like it. No, the sun is a good card. The sun is a good card. So for integrity, I like that.
Yeah, it's you're integritous when you're in your heart,
Yeah.
right? Leo, the sun. This is the victory card. It's the 32-5. It's the path of the US. It's freedom. It's freedom because you take responsibility for yourself.
Yeah.
You take responsibility for your life. You don't blame it on other people. You don't say it's because of the government or it's this or it's that or they're trying to get me. You create with what you have, right?
Yeah. I just said that. Why I don't have a partner. I'm like, because I am responsible for every decision, everything I do, every move I make. I am accountable for 100% of it.
Yeah.
That's why.
Okay, next. We have 12 steps.
Willingness. What
We're
is
really
your
on
willingness? Are you willing to take on your integrity? Like, are you like, you've got this, right? So your willingness. But everything is red. My God, I got Ace of Wands. This is good. This is inspiration.
I
I
got
like it.
the Queen of Cups. Are you willing to use your psychic powers? Are you willing to feel your feelings? Are you willing is that the Ace of Wands?
Yes.
Are you willing to move in the direction of your passion? Isn't that a big red rose there on that card?
Yep.
Yeah, passion.
I like that. Sorry about that. The lighting festival was down the hall today. Oh my gosh, I stayed so far away from there. Pull one for humility. So humility is like, oh, yeah, I really don't have anything to complain about. The Hanged Man.
Have the humility to trust that spirit has it. Like you can't do anything with this, so you have to trust spirit, right?
Humility, you become humble if you're allowed to see things from a different perspective.
That will humble you, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like walking in somebody else's moccasins. You don't know another person's life until you've lived it.
Yeah.
What did you get?
The Sovereign. This was the next one up. 4. So this would be like the Hierophant. That's 5.
Oh,
The Sovereign. So both of them have a little isolation quality to them, maybe. Kind of being on your, on your own. If you can only be humble to yourself or to the written word, if you have to, that's fine. Nobody needs to see it. There's still social media. You don't have to say everything, and you can do it personally. Seems like you have to. The next one is love. Love. So you have to understand the concept of love to move on. We talk about it all the time. We know where it comes from. We know the frequencies, the colors, the numbers, the goddesses. But what does it really mean to you in you know. How do you keep moving it? Keep it moving. What'd you get?
The Three of Wands, virtue. This is the same vibration as light. This card, 2911, master number. Sun in Aries, new beginnings. You know, the North Node's in Aries, right?
Yeah.
And this is a time of new beginnings and renegotiation of old contracts.
I got 4 of Swords. So again, I think going within, like backing off, maybe resting, holding on. That's really interesting. The next one is responsibility. What is my responsibility? Because we were kind of like bumping into walls thinking, okay, what can I do now? Or what's next? I need to participate in something. Blue Sky has gotten a lot of subscribers because
I went on Blue Sky. I have Blue Sky now.
I do too. I haven't posted anything. I actually honestly haven't figured out how to actually use it.
I never use Twitter, so I don't really understand how it works either. But I've looked at some stuff and followed some people. You know, the
I
usual.
want to support it.
Yeah.
I want to support it. So what is our responsibility? How do we kind of,
I guess what's our responsibility in this particular situation, right? What we're trying to overcome here. What'd you get?
8 of Pentacles.
Ooh, working. You got to work it, baby.
Yeah.
Do your work, right? I got the Hierophant, which says to me, embrace your power. Embrace your wisdom. Listen to that small, still voice within your head.
Yeah. And do what you do best.
Yay. Amen, sister.
Right?
Amen, mystic sister.
Discipline is next. So what is discipline? And I would say discipline even in like maybe curbing how much sugar or how much caffeine you take in. Discipline. It could be anything that requires you to repeat it,
Even if it's talking to yourself in the mirror and telling everything's going to be all right.
If you got to write it in lipstick, I would recommend that over crayon. Yeah. This one flipped right over.
What's the key word here again?
Discipline.
Discipline. No, notice how I forgot that one, but go ahead.
I got the Hermit. Yeah.
So did I.
Yeah. So,
yikes.
How would you interpret this?
I would say health. It's a Virgo card. Be very disciplined in taking care of your health at this time. Very important. Because this is hard enough, but if you're sick, it'll be even harder. So I think that's what that is.
Interesting.
It's also about utilizing your wisdom.
Yeah. Yeah. Spiritual awareness is next.
What step are we on? 1, 2, 3.
We're on number 11.
Oh. Yes, number 11.
Yeah, number 11. Spiritual awareness is, I think that's a lot of what Pluto and Aquarius is about.
Well, certainly awareness of vibration.
Yeah.
You know what I'd like to do? I'd like to get our friend Sherry on here one night, and maybe we could do some sound healing.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be
You
cool?
mentioned that in your video, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope she heard it.
It's very nice. Oh, this is interesting. So I got 2 of Pentacles, but it is the yin yang. Finding a balance, I think, is the first.
What's the key word here again?
Spiritual awareness.
Thank you. Okay. I got the Queen of Wands.
Okay.
The sustainer of spirit. The mother of fire. The mother of inspiration. The mother of creativity. The mother of passion.
This is interesting, and it truly has a picture of Saturn in there, which is like smelling like sulfur, is the primary ruler of Aquarius.
Yes, the classical.
And Uranus is the secondary ruler. So I think finding that balance, like don't just plunge into one, still see both as valid.
So we have one more, right?
How can I be of service?
How can I be of service?
That should be the only question in the whole thing.
And I will write these keywords in the drop-down menu when this gets repeated. So if you can send me those keywords, I'll put them in the drop-down for the video. How can I be of service? How can I be of service?
It's my turn for the Queen of Wands.
Ooh. I got the Tower.
Wow.
The Tower requires us to be our authentic spiritual self. Yeah.
And in terms of planets, the Tower is
Mars.
Mm-hmm. So much of the Marsy stuff is coming up.
Well, yeah, Mars is it's interesting because Mars is the ruler of the North Node, right?
Yep.
And now it's going to just go so far and then it's going to go retrograde.
When do the North and South nodes change? February?
I think January.
Okay.
January. And of course, it starts in the last degree of Pisces, right? And Neptune is there. So things aren't going to really necessarily clear up right away because of that.
Yeah. Interesting.
Wow. Well, that was fun.
Those are the 12 steps.
Those are the 12 steps. our version of the 12 steps. Our version of the 12 steps.
Yeah.
Would be interesting to because I don't really know the 12 steps, even though maybe I should know the 12 steps, but I've never really had to do the 12 steps unless ice cream is one of the things, and then I probably could do a 12 step on that. But only in the winter, because in the summer, that's the whole point of the summer, isn't it?
I think the 12 steps is each one of the 12 apostles.
Or the 12 zodiac signs.
Or the 12 zodiac signs. So if you have an understanding and you learned and you practice that, it's pretty much the same concepts.
Yeah.
It's just moved around a little bit.
Okay, so anybody out there have a question that maybe one of us or both of us can answer with the cards? We have about 10 minutes. So why don't we, was there anything else we wanted to? So this coming week is pretty important because, we have the Mercury retrograde. That's going to require us to go within. And then the next week is December, and we have a new moon in Sag, which is it's a very interesting new moon. We have Mars going retrograde the first week of December. And there's actually 2 new moons in December, one on the 1st and one on the 30th. So
it's going to be December's a big month.
yeah. And I believe that Mars is going retrograde on the day that it's the 6th. So it's that day where they're doing something with the electors, right? There's something that goes on in that period of time. And then on January 6th, that's when they bring it to the vice president and they do that thing, that ceremonial thing. And then the 20th is the inauguration. So do you
So we
see
got
it?
time.
The next 2 weeks are going to be very intense.
Yeah.
Very
They
intense.
really are going to be very intense.
And I feel like there's a groundswell of people who were doubting this whole thing. And I think that one of the problems is that people are a little embarrassed to say it because they feel like they're being like the other side, except that was the other side was false.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't know. I know that there are still people looking for their votes. Somebody wrote that to me today.
Yeah. Yeah. I know it's not over. And I hope that it's just them trying to keep us calm. I don't know, but just like wait for people to just relax and then figure out what's going on. I hope that every executive decision that needs to be made is well thought out and made appropriate. And if they need me to copy letters of impeachment, I'll go to the library for them. I'm ready, right? Whatever they need, because he's already impeachable.
Yeah, but that only works if the Senate's willing to impeach him, and that hasn't been the case yet, right? And he's still not president. He's not president yet.
Right.
Joe Biden is still our president.
Innocent Potato says, when does Mercury go retrograde?
The 25th. It's retrograde from this coming week, the 25th, to the 15th of December, when it goes direct.
And that I have 8:42 Central, so it'd be 9:42 p.m. your time. That's Monday, and the numerology is a 4 of Cups, a 44/8. So wishy-washy.
Well, divine discontent a little bit. That requires us to, like, we're looking at a situation that we're not satisfied with, but we're being asked to look up from that and look at the gift that's coming towards us. That's really what the 4 of Cups is about. So stop looking at the problem as you see it and look up and around to see what gifts are coming your way. Yeah. Because it's good.
Wants to know, will Biden use the presidential emergency power? I'd like to pull a card on that, because I don't know what exactly it is. Is it a law? Is it one of those?
Does anybody know what that, like, just specifically what that is? Just
scribbled on toilet paper kind of thing? Is this something that means that he has to do a battery of testing, or is it new?
Is that the thing that the Supreme Court gave him power to do that he didn't have before, or is it something that he's always had?
Presidential emergency power.
So who asked the question? Was it Steph? All right, let me find the question and I'll put it up. I forget I can do that. So let's see. I can't even, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. Let's see.
Something's giving me a chill. My windows are closed. So damn.
Okay, is Biden going to use the Emergency Powers Act? That was the question, right?
I just
don't
pulled
even-
one card. How many cards you pulling?
Um, I well, I
How many do you want to
picked
pull?
one, but I think I want to pick 3.
Okay. Okay. All right.
What'd you get?
I got the void, or this would be a 0, the fool card. So snakes in the grass, gonna step on the gas. Okay. That's what I'm saying. And the next is 7 of swords. So there's definitely people requesting this. There's information being gathered. Maybe 7 of wands is kind of like people keep telling you to do this thing kind of thing. And then 4 of swords, he might just be too much of a no. I don't think he's
So I got the 4 of Swords as well.
okay.
Okay, the Strength card and the 7 of Swords, which is the card you got, right?
Okay, I got 7 of wands.
Oh, was it Wands? Okay.
It's 7 of wands.
So
So
I don't know what that does, but I would say no with these cards. So
I'm looking at the numerology. I have it completed through December, but that's it. I don't have December, but when these numbers come up together and we start thinking about them, there's some date that's correlated where there might be a deadline, or you might hear something by that time. 7 of swords. Hold on a second. I got this. Well, I got this thing over here. I have dates. 7 of swords is in Aquarius. It's February 9th through the 18th, according to Timing in Tarot, a book by Joy Vernon. It's the only one that will give you any plug of time for minor arcana tarot. And the 7 of wands is between August 12th and 22nd. That's a Leo time. And Aquarius is now. So it's how Pluto is sort of representing itself, or that February time is something that's going to be interesting. But that's after this inauguration is supposed to take place, right?
hold on, let me see.
What'd you get?
No, wait, I'm going to do it
Okay.
again. Donald Trump is inaugurated as the 47th president of the United States. Yes. Kamala Harris is inaugurated as the 47th president of the United States. No. So it looks like, according to this moment, because it changes for me. Sometimes I'll check, it'll be like, yes, hard yes. And the next day it's, so I think, Go
I
ahead.
can't even. I honestly, when I have to think about him. That's how much I really don't allow him to come here anymore
Yeah, I know.
in my head. So he's so orangey, and he's lost some weight. Is he going to be inaugurated January 25th? My God, yes.
You said the 25th? Oh, you
January
meant 2025.
2025. 125.25. Donald Trump.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll see. Um,
I don't want to believe myself right now.
yeah, like for me, it changes, but I'm getting to the point, and this may change as it gets closer to the date. So this could just be one of those stages. That, whatever comes, we're just going to deal with it anyway. I mean, either way, it's going to be a shit show.
I haven't even asked that question.
What's that?
Is he going to get inaugurated? I got 3 of Pentacles.
Oh, okay. I guess I
Just
can.
that one.
That's dark money.
It's what we call dark money. Definitely has a skull there. So
I got justice. I got justice. So I don't know if that's a yes or a no.
I think we have to take it as lighthearted as you possibly can. Honestly,
Assuming he makes it to the.
if
We
he
don't know.
doesn't, right. Last week he wasn't going to make it there, and then there were ambulances in front of Mar-a-Lago, and he got some kind of weird steroid injection probably, and then he's fine this week. I don't know what's going on, but I know that if it weren't for outside artificial sources keeping him and his blood pressure maintained, he would not be well right now. Whatever else he's got to take to, keep it together.
Yeah. So our sort of takeaway today is turquoise. Stand in your power. Take care of yourself. Do what you love. What was the sun? Shine your light like the sun.
Yep.
Right. Generosity. Be happy. Don't let them steal your joy. Be happy. To quote Cory Booker from my old state of my heart, New Jersey, don't let them steal your joy. They can't take it without your permission. Don't allow it.
No. It's hard. Sometimes it's hard. It's hard to pick up your foot and start dancing in the kitchen. You feel like there's nothing to dance to, but there is. There's something.
There's always that beat. Do 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 do. That's the one that always
There's gonna be something you can do that sort of gets you through this. This coming week will be intense, but it won't be so bad.
You know what?
Thanksgiving coming up. Oh, Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's right. Next week. Yes, Thanksgiving. Yeah,
That's
one of my
right.
best friends gonna be 70 next week.
Wow.
Yeah, my maid of honor. Wow. Don't tell her I told everybody, but
I'm not saying nothing. I'm not saying nothing. That's interesting. So if anybody's celebrating this time of year with, giving thanks, think about oh God, I don't even know what to say about Thanksgiving this year. Good luck.
I'm picking 3 cards on Thanksgiving.
Remember all those hermit cards and hangman and stuff? Maybe that's a message. Thanksgiving might be one of those things that would be hard to navigate. If it's too hard to navigate, have a backup plan.
So I picked 3 cards for Thanksgiving. Power, 4 of Pentacles, stand in your power. 3 of Cups, have a good time.
Oh.
And Knight of Wands, in some cases, run away. No, just kidding. You taking your spirit on the road with you.
Yeah.
So especially if you're in a situation with the family that you don't have a lot of control over, the conversations that are going to happen, or if there's no ground rules and everybody gets to say what they want to say,
Yeah.
just fill yourself up with light and walk outside if you
Yeah.
have
Definitely burn some sage when they leave.
to.
That's like follow them out the door with the stick. Like, get out of
Love you. See you next year.
it. I do anyway for both, like before people come over and before and after people leave, just so that like there's a good experience in that. Right?
Well, all I know is I'm thankful for everybody on this live tonight. I'm thankful for you, Ona. I'm thankful for my friend Mary, who I've known longer than almost anybody else. Um, Thank you all for joining us. We love you guys. Hopefully, this is a little bit of levity, a little bit of information, and a lot of light. So keep shining, guys. We'll be back next week, next Saturday on Ona's channel, Ona's Tarot, for Mystic Sisters Live.
Yep.
I called this a December to remember, and we didn't really talk about December, but that's okay. We'll have plenty to talk about in December.
Yeah. Yeah. It's to prepare for December, maybe.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. Like fill up your bathtub with water, kind of prepare and have snacks.
Yep. Yep.
Have snacks.
And I think Jamie said only inviting Democrats to my house. Thank you. So whatever you got to do,
Absolutely.
your criteria is
It's
it's
your
your house.
house. You get to decide. It's your boundaries. You get to decide.
Then let them fight it out at home. If they're split down the middle, sometimes you need to talk about these things. Boy, yeah, next week is going to be interesting. So any questions, post them in maybe the community page will be something, or in the bottom under this video for next week would be really, really interesting. Paula says hug to giblets. He's going to be tomorrow morning's, time out with giblets
I'm
and see
out with
what we
giblets.
can
I
find
go
out.
by every card he picks. I try to embody that. What was it? Dragonfly last week?
Dragonfly. Yeah, it was Dragonfly.
All
That's
right, so you can check out Ona and Jibs in the morning, and I will be getting the week ahead, the end of November out for those who are wondering when that's coming out tomorrow. All right, take care, everyone. We love you.